Welcome in to episode 7 of the Bleav in Twins podcast. I am your host, Anders Pryor, along with my wonderful co-host and analyst, Zac Tipton, who is the only person on planet Earth excited for David Festa primetime.
I'm very excited. Are you kidding?
Not the only, excuse me, the more excited for David Festa primetime than anyone else, probably.
Oh, David Festa on primetime on national television is going to be absolutely legendary, and we are about to watch a man go like 6 innings, nowhere, and runs 8 strikeouts. I'm telling you right now, that's what we're about to see tonight.
Yeah, no, the bigger the stage, the bigger the outcome. Good to have you guys in. Show on a Friday. Yesterday was an off day, both for us and for the Twins, but we're back today. So
yes, we are very back.
I
think we're very back.
I think we're really back, and I think that we're still on the grid, and none of you need to worry.
Yes, that is very true.
That's the big thing, but it's good to have you guys in. Happy Friday, happy weekend. To kind of start off the show, just as a little opening tidbit, Zac and I, as you guys have probably inferred, are in a shared fantasy football league, and Zac, in I think appropriate fashion, charming, not just clicking a random order generator, did a virtual duck race on some website to determine our draft order, and it appeared rigged at first because he has pick 1 and I have picked 2, and not everyone was super thrilled about that. But Zac, your thoughts and analysis on how the Ducks looked, and on who you're going to be picking.
No, it was kind of annoying. Because of the first round. So what they do is they never, whoever starts in the league never finishes in the lead in a duck race, and it's really annoying. And so for like half the race, you couldn't even see my name because there were 12 different names on there. So half the race, you couldn't even see my name. And then all of a sudden, you see me flying up. Here I come out of nowhere, and I pass everyone, and I win by like a good second. And I'm like, this is gonna look so rigged. Like, this is just bad.
No, Zac had a video, but it got deleted.
It did. And then the second race, it was pretty easy. Anders won. I'm not gonna lie, Anders won that pretty easily in the second race. And so that's how we determined it. And so from that point on, it was pretty easy, pretty simple. But yes, I got the first pick, which is crazy considering this is the 3rd time in a row in our shared leagues that I've had the first pick. Which is this just sounds rigged, but to be fair, I did not do either of the actual random order generators last year. I just got lucky enough to be
this is the only one where it's been orchestrated by Zac, and so he kind of figured that we were onto him, and so he had to take matters into his own hands. But are you because we're in a 2, so we are pretty standard 1 QB, 2 RB, 2 receiver, 1 flex, 1 tight end. Are you?
I'm pretty serious. Like, as much as I want to go with like a CD Lamb or a Amon-Ra St. Brown type pick, it is very impossible to just not pick Christian McCaffrey, and I think that's where I'm going to end up going. Which I hate taking RB's first round personally, but I think you just can't pass up on a CMC first overall pick. And so Christian McCaffrey is obviously the best player in the game in terms of passing, in terms of catching, running, touchdowns. He does everything. Right. And so, I probably will end up taking him with the first pick, although my second choice probably would have been CD Lamb, or it would have easily been CD Lamb, but I'm taking CMC. It is heartbreaking though, because as a lifelong Vikings fan, you really want to take Justin Jefferson there, but Yeah, no, it's a big reach to take him
Yeah,
one.
Zach was really hoping and praying that he got picked like 5 or 6 or
Like
something.
I was thinking, like even 4. Like I probably would take him Justin Jefferson. I got like pick 4
For
or 3. Actually,
I
no, 3 would 1, 2, 3 was going to be some combination of CMC, CD, Amon-Ra. But if
right.
I would have got 4 or later, it would have been Jettas.
No, yeah, we are, and our league is full PPR. I think like if I had the first pick in this draft, so like because we're a 2 receiver league, like if me personally, if this was a 3 receiver league and I had the first pick, I would have gone with CD just because of you just need to roster 3 receivers. Um, Obviously, if I had the first pick in this draft with 2 receivers, I also would have done CMC. I am sitting at 2.
So you're
Um,
taking CD anyway.
I so I do like the idea of CD, but because we're 2 receivers, there is a thought of going with Bijan. I like Bijan more than Brees as a running back, and I probably like Bijan more than Tyreek. I like CeeDee Lamb more than Bijan, like just regardless of position in terms of like overall finish.
Yeah.
But I am tempted to take Bijan over CD just because of the way their roster is formatted. But I may, because I took Bijan 5th overall last year, so I may or may not use that as an excuse to just take CD anyway. But it's gonna be one of those two. It's not gonna be Hill and it's not gonna be Brees.
Yeah, that's fair. And for me, it's physically, I'm probably going to take CMC, but then there's a part of my mind that's like, I'd love to just stack a receiver there and then go like running back 2, 3, and get
Yeah.
my 2 running backs then. Um, because I don't know. I don't know if I really like the wide receivers at the end of the second, third round kind of guys.
Mm,
So I don't know. It's a hard decision for me, but for this point, I'm probably gonna stick my CMC pick. But
yeah.
yeah,
No, the end of the second round is like not quite Devonte Adams. He's probably a little ahead of that, but that's like Mike Evans, Nico Collins, like
yeah.
DJ Moore territory. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it either. Um,
So that's why I'm like, do I go CD first, and then do I go like a Isaiah Pacheco, Rashad White, two
right.
three stack,
Well,
something like that?
I actually do. I like Nico Collins and Mike Evans, but there are a lot of players around that area. Like Joe Mixon is in that area. I don't really like him that much. I Bleav that that's around where Josh Jacobs is going. I'm pretty sure. I'm not
Yeah,
on him. So I would. So it depends. It always. I've always tried to base my first pick on like between would like the round like 4 through 7 like cluster, like which position do I like more, receivers or running backs, and then whichever one I like more in that range, I take the opposite one with my first pick. That's usually how I've done it. So like
interesting.
last year, the RB dead zone last year was terrible. It was just gross. It was really big and really like low in terms of like what you would need to like get value. And so I went double RB just to try and avoid it. So
That's fair. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's anyway. That's where I'm at. I think I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna come down to CMC or CD.
Yeah.
Depending. I'm gonna do some mocks with both
Yeah.
and see if I like the options that come back in the second, third rounds. Um,
Yeah.
and then yeah, we'll see from there. It'd be hard to pass up on CMC, but if I need to get a good receiver there to avoid taking like wide receivers I don't really like at 2, 3. Um, sorry.
Oh, bless
Uh,
you.
Thank you. That's where I'd probably go. It's probably I'd take CD then. But I don't know. We'll see. And I let Anders have CMC, which I'm pretty sure Anders would probably love to have CMC.
I
Uh,
yeah, I would have
uh,
if I'm also tempted, like if I do like I like there are a lot of running backs that I do like at like later points in the draft. So I might do like a 0 RB thing where I go like Lamb and then one of those like guys like Collins or Evans, and then maybe get like Laporta or something like that. That's another option just to get a piece of the Lions offense. But
Anyway, that's where
anyway,
that's at.
we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that. We'll do a keep you updated. Heck, we might do like we might do a live stream of our draft and see how it goes.
Yes,
We'll see. But no, we'll enjoy it. But for right now, that's where we're at.
Yep.
We want to get over to baseball though, a little, because a lot's happened in this past week in our division.
Yep.
Specifically, a very intriguing series between the Yankees and Guardians just happened. And as Anders, who hates to admit on a Twins podcast, but he is a Yankees fan. And so, Anders, I'd love to have you explain just how amazingly you beat the Guardians in
Yeah. No, I mean, like Judge does something every game. Like it's that just warps.
It's physically unreal. Like it's
physically
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. So like I don't know. So this ties in a lot with the sort of themes of like what the post All-Star break Guardians have kind of looked like. I think my understanding and just from what I've seen is that I think the home road splits for the bullpen are pretty stark. And I think, the Yankees have had some bullpen issues of their own. And so, hammering that in was really important. Obviously you open that series with a brutal, kind of this long methodical pitching matchup, and then just it totally just kind of destroys itself in extra innings. You then get back to back, just really solid, 8-1 in game 2, then 6-0 in game 3. I'm just trying to see, because Clay Holmes has kind of, beating up on Clay Holmes has kind of been the sort of trendy thing to do amongst Yankees fans. He was fine this time around. I think most of the bullpen woes came from Tim Meza, who just got picked up, and Mike Tonkin, who's actually been fine throughout the year. But
can you explain to us on how Cousins looks specifically?
Oh, Jake Cousins, cousin. I think I don't think he's very. I don't think he's great. Like the ERA I know kind of says like otherwise. I'm not a huge fan of, like, if you look at there's a lot of stuff that he doesn't like really qualify for, but he throws a slider basically 70% of the time, and it's firmly below what you sort of want in terms of velocity. Tops out at like 85. So if you throw one pitch all the time, you want the velocity to really be there in addition to the break. So I kind of view him as a weak point. I think his numbers are a little bit deceptive, but this is a really the Guardians kind of post deadline has been really interesting to watch, because if you look at like right now, if you look at the bullpen, it's current, like they're one in ERA, one in WHIP, one in hits per 9, and one in home runs per 9. So at home they have these just super lockdown stretches, and then on the road, I need to find the road splits, but it's made, they have single-handedly, because I mean the Twins and the Royals have kind of done. I mean, the Royals have a tough stretch ahead of them, as you mentioned before the show, but the Twins and the Royals haven't really been doing much differently, and the Guardians have kind of made this series race interesting, sort of on their own,
Yeah.
to like their own accord. So that's going to be really, we're going to, this next coming week. I mean, their schedule, it's up, it's a little up and down. Like, I mean, they're about to have the Rangers, which is not brutal, but then it gets it gets hard because they have 4 against the Royals, then Pittsburgh, which should be competitive, and then they have 3 against the Royals and 3 against the Dodgers. So it's not like they have a bunch of wiggle room, like in
No.
this stretch. You know what I mean?
And then they finish off the season with the Astros there. And so, like, if this division race comes down to the end and it comes down to, in my opinion, it's going to come down to Guardians versus Twins because I'm looking at the Royals schedule. I don't know if you've seen the Royals schedule,
Yeah,
but the Royals have one of the hardest schedules I've ever seen in my life coming up. So they start with the Phillies this week. They have the Phillies, then they go Guardians, Astros, Guardians, Twins, Yankees, Pirates, Tigers, Giants, and then they go kind of in a rough stretch. But like, you just listen that first like 5 series where they go Phillies, Guardians, Astros, Guardians, Twins, Yankees is insane.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
you would expect them to lose all 5 of those series. Am I right? Am I right when you look at it? Would you agree? Like, you probably expect them to lose all 5 of those series.
Oh God. The Philly series,
They can win that one, but to me, like,
they can't.
Guardians,
The Phillies bullpen has been very very episodic the entire year.
and
I mean,
not to mention, the Royals are only coming back because this is the teams they just played, right? These are the teams they just faced.
yeah,
In their last like 6 series, they swept the White Sox. They won 2 out of 4. They won 3 out of 4 versus the Tigers. They lost the series to the Red Sox. They split the 2-game series versus the Cardinals. They lost the series to the Twins, and then they swept the Reds and won 2 or 3 versus the Angels. Like, that's a really easy schedule, and their only tough opponents they lost. So to me, I'm looking at it like the Royals are only coming back because they face a bunch of easy teams. They're about to face 5 really hard teams, and they've not looked good against good teams recently.
That series loss against Boston is going to become really important when we get down to tiebreakers.
Oh, absolutely, because it's gonna probably be them versus Boston for 7.
Right, or for 6.
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting though. Like, I don't know. This is nothing inherently like incorrect or like intellectually dishonest, but it's like it's weird because we're saying that the Guardians have a rough stretch because they're facing the Royals, but then the Royals have a rough stretch because they're facing the Guardians. Right, so like
not just that, but they're facing the Yankees, Twins. They're facing the Yankees, Twins, Phillies, and Astros.
Who do you think is better between Cleveland and Kansas City?
Cleveland, because they're pitching. Because Cleveland's starters are worse, but Cleveland's bullpen is a lot better, and Cleveland's offense is better than just Bobby Witt. Because that's my opinion. Is Kansas City's offense is Bobby Witt and Salvador Perez, and that's it.
Sure.
Cleveland's offense is better than those two. And Cleveland's bullpen is so locked down that if the starters can somehow just keep a lead, Royals won't win against the Guardians bullpen.
The kind of surprise, like, I think the underlying the raw like surface numbers point to the Royals having a better offense. I do agree with you though that it is more volatile because I think their talent is not as spread out as it is in Cleveland. I think
plus the Royals pitchers are starting to go down. Like, Lugo's starting to lose his touch. You're looking at like, heck, we got to Brady Singer pretty good the last time we played him.
Yep.
Reagan's is really the only guy I think they can trust right now at the starting position. So it's like do the Guardian so if the Guardians lose one game to Ravens, I think they're good enough they're good enough with their just getting contact and getting on base to make Lugo struggle. And
I agree with you that I think the gap between the Kansas City bullpen, it's just bad. Like it's been a little better since the deadline getting Urseg, but it's bad. I think the gap between Cleveland's bullpen and Kansas City's bullpen is bigger than the gap of advantage that Kansas City starters have over the Guardians starters.
it's a little closer because I think, in my opinion, the Cleveland starters are bad and they're
Yeah,
getting hurt a lot. Like they've lost a couple of players just very recently to injury.
yeah.
I think Webb is back down. I think Logan or is it Cobb or who did they get? Cobb, was it Cobb that they got on the deadline?
Yeah, Alex Cobb, yeah.
He's back. He's on the IL again.
Yep.
They just lost another player to the IL. I forget who it was, but the Guardians just lost another player to the IL.
No, I mean, yeah, like Gavin Williams was. I mean, that was one of the pitchers that the Yankees faced. Like he was him and Tanner Bibee or Bibby or Abibi. I don't know how the hell you say it. I've heard like 5 different ways it's pronounced, but I think it's Bibee. But both of them were kind of pinged as like these guys that were going to take this sort of next step, and sort of if the Guardians do what it's strange because the Guardians have, if you told someone, hey, the Guardians are going to have this record by this point, how does it happen? Like you were going to think that it was being carried on the backs of like Bibee, Gavin Williams, and then Logan Allen all taking these huge leaps where they all have like, 100 and 170 plus like inning and strikeout seasons, but they kind of like especially Williams has not been good. Like his ERA has stayed over 5, I think, the majority of the season. So it's been the hitting, which has been, and it's not just like the hitting, it's like the power, like the slugging is there. And so it's a very unexpected, but I think, yeah, I don't know. I might have to say I think the Royals are better. I think if I had to pick a team for a series, I'd probably pick Kansas City. But I think the Twins. I don't think the either way it works. I don't think anyone really thinks the Twins are the best team in that division, but I do think that they're the most consistent team of those 3.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, so that's that. The Royals have an insane stretch coming up. The Guardians have a decently difficult stretch coming up.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes in the division race. What is necessary though is to talk about this Twins, because we were talking a lot about bullpens. Who's better between the Royals bullpen? Who's better between the Guardians bullpen? The Twins bullpen is, and we're needing to talk about this right now.
Yeah. So Zach, I promised Zach a rant to open up this thing because we want to talk about we want to talk about how we got Matt Waldron right, and we want to talk about Bailey Ober and how great he was, but I need to give Zach this space to say what he needs to say.
And fun fact, I did practice this rant. My dad, just like right before I got on this call, because I was talking to my dad about the Twins, and I was like, I got on a rant about the bullpen. And in our last show, go watch it on our YouTube. It's on our YouTube. Bleav 6. It's our episode 6. Last show, I talked about how I thought Rocco severely mismanaged the bullpen on Sunday. And with him doing that, I knew it was going to have major impacts Monday and Tuesday. And I was thinking to myself, I don't think it's going to impact us too much Monday, because in my opinion, I think we'll lose big enough on Monday that we won't have to use a high leverage person. So I thought it mainly going to impact everything on Tuesday, because I'm looking at it like I don't think Duran or Alcala can pitch Tuesday. We might have Jax, but that's about it for high leverage guys. And we don't trust anyone else besides like Cole Sands enough to pitch in high leverage situations. And so Bailey Ober goes up there, and Bailey Ober pitches a great 6 innings. He gives up a 2-run home run in the 7th inning because he decides to get a little cute, and it just gave up 3 runs. So he ties the game. It's tied 3-3 now in the 7th inning. And you're thinking, oh crap, this is how it's gonna go. So it's 3-3. We send in Griffin Jax, which I'm like, why are we sending him so early into this game? Why not send Cole Sands out there? But no, we sent out Griffin Jax. He goes out, gets out of the inning, gets all 3 batters out, 1 inning, 1 hit, I think, and a strikeout. Great. Fire. Amazing. Instead of then going to like Cole Sands for the 8th, Rocco turns to his low leverage guys, because I forget the scores at this point. I think it's now 4-3. Turns to his low leverage guys in Stephen Okert, and expects a guy like Stephen Okert to go get that out. And we've not really talked about Okert a lot on this show because he just hasn't been really worth talking about. But Okert isn't good. And I think that needs to be really explained here. Okert is not good. And in that outing, he only got 1 out, allowed 4 earned runs, and we lost the game because Okert blew it. And this all stems back to the fact that Rocco Baldelli mismanaged that bullpen on Sunday. If Rocco had not used Duran in the 10th inning, or if Rocco had not used Alcala in the 7th inning, instead went to like Trevor Richards and a Ronnie Henriquez 2-inning stretch in 2-inning stretch on Sunday, our entire bullpen would have been available for Tuesday because we would have used more low leverage guys on Monday, and then our bullpen would have been available Tuesday. And instead, that happened. We lose a lot. We have a lot of runs. Things don't go our way. We lose that game in a game that was very winnable and would have won us the series because, as we said, we called the Matt Waldron blow-up game right. And so it's just disappointing. It really is disappointing that we only have 4 relievers we can really trust right now. And I don't know what we're going to do come playoff time because, in my opinion, 4 relievers is probably not enough to. And maybe Thielbar can get in that version of like where we could think maybe we could trust Thielbar later on because he seems to be kind of getting a little bit of fire back in terms of his things. But for right now, we have 4 guys we can trust, and that's not good. And Brock Stewart's out for the season. Justin Topa is still hurt. And yeah, I don't know what we're going to do here. But for right now, it's not looking good. But it's going to be a very weird bullpen situation come September and October.
Yeah. When you say the 4 guys, who are those names that you were talking about?
Yohan Duran,
Yep.
Griffin Jax,
Yep.
Jorge Alcala,
Yep.
and Cole Sands.
Yep. Okay.
It's those 4. And maybe Thielbar will join that mix. I said that. Maybe Thielbar will join that mix because I think he's looked a little better recently. And so if he can keep that going, I would actually maybe trust Thielbar more, but he's mainly a lefty. Really, he's a lefty reliever, and he can face one-handed guy. But we'll see. So it's maybe those 5, but for sure those 4. And listen, Alcala's going to go a lot of heat for that really bad game he had, but that's also on Rocco for pitching him 5 out of 7 games.
Yeah.
Like he's not somebody you can do that with. He's not a long reliever. He's a guy that's been injured every year of his career. So yeah, I don't know. It's those 4 pitchers, and we have nothing really below that besides maybe Thielbar and maybe Richards and like a mid-leverage guy, like a 4-run lead. We could send Richards out there, but like maybe.
I'm kind of done with Richards.
Really? Okay.
Like, yeah, like there's the command is just totally like, God, I know you mentioned a couple, like I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, that stat that he already leads the Twins in like wild.
Actually, well, I will say this though, yeah, his walks have been very bad. Like his walks have been since coming to the Twins, since coming to the Twins, he has 7 walks in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 outings.
Yep.
But I will say this, and I will say this very briefly. Trevor Richards had to come in for an injury to a pitcher, right? Yeah. He had to come in for an injury to a pitcher. In that one game, he gave up 3 earned runs and 5 walks in that one outing where he came in for an injured pitcher. Okay? That's when he came in. He came in for an injured. He had one really bad outing versus the Cubs. And with that, and without that game, listen to Richard's stats without that game. I'm going to tell you Richard's stats without that game. He has 3, 4, 5, 6.1, 9.1 innings, or 8.1 innings, 8.1 innings, 2 walks, no earned runs. So if it wasn't for the game where he came in for an injury,
right,
he would be having a really good start to his career, which is why the only reason why I'm like, maybe Trevor Richards can be like a low leverage kind of guy for us.
Sure.
So that's my thought.
Yeah, no, I get it. I need to see it. Like I want to. I just on his savant, his walk rate is the 9th percentile.
No, his savant is bad. His savant is very bad.
Because you and I have talked about like with like Duran and like Jax, like this very kind of clear identity to this bullpen, and he doesn't really seem to like fit it. Like it's
no, he doesn't. You're right.
Right. Yeah. Like the change up is really, the 4-seam fastball is firmly below average, but not that slow. The change up is disastrously slow. It averages at 90. It averages at 79. Tops out at about 83. League average is about 87. So
Yep.
like it's really difficult to pinpoint the strength that he offers, like strengths for him, like the strengths that he offers for the bullpen. In a way that I can't really articulate that for him in the way that I can for Duran and for Jax and for Alcala. But we'll see. You give him a shot because we traded for him, and you make sure that he has time to wind himself in. But to switch to a little bit more of a positive, Zac and I think pretty much nailed on the dot the Matt Waldron start that we thought was going to happen. Looking at the velocity numbers and looking, which kinds of pitches he's just below average in and which ones he's awful at, and kind of the knuckleball sort of stuff that he has going on. Like, he's the exact kind of pitcher the Twins are built to dominate, and the knuckleball, like in the Twins kind of like style of hitting, which we talked about last episode, they have this sort of really consistent, rhythmic, medium ball kind of feel that, like, similar to what like the Red Sox have done in the year. The knuckleball is the exact kind of pitch that the Twins are designed to crush. So in just going to the line here, because it's pretty, it's pretty, this is kind of what we wanted.
It was
bad. I need to hold on.
I got you. 4.1 innings.
Yep.
12 hits, 10 runs, all 10 earned runs.
Yep.
1 homer, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. The Twins played small ball on him. The Twins just played small ball on him. It was really all we did. Besides one big 3-run homer from Matt Wallner, who just seems to know how to find the furthest part of the ballpark and hit a home run there. it was pretty much small ball for us. Like we were Austin Martin. Shout out Austin Martin there. Just give a big shout out to Austin Martin
Yeah.
that game. Two
One,
doubles.
two, three. Yeah, three different RBI doubles in
Yeah.
in 3 RBI doubles in 5 innings, which is like exactly how you would envision it.
Yep.
Y-
And
s- I thought it was
I will
perfect
say I
execution.
tweeted this out, but you know, Austin Martin went like I forget what Austin Martin's exact stat line was. Let me pull it up quick before I go and say anything crazy. Uh I think he was like 3 for 4 with like let me look here. 1 second here. Let me pull it up quick just to make sure I get it right. Okay, stats. Here we go. He was 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a strikeout. It's like 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. And then you have Simon Woods Richardson, who, and I know you love Simon Woods Richardson. I know you're a big
Oh
Simon
boy,
Woods.
do I.
5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, and he made one of the most dangerous lineups in baseball look stupid. Like he
Yeah.
was making everyone in that lineup look really bad. Um, and so shout out to Simon Woods Richardson. But I tweeted out, I'm like, you're telling me we have Simon Woods Richardson and Austin Martin both producing majorly in the big leagues, and people are still saying we lost the Jose Barrios trade. I'm just saying. It's a pretty good day to be a Derek Falvey
Yeah.
when you got that happen because that Jose Barrios trade looks really
No,
good.
one of his more, and this is one of the things that I like about him. Well, I love him because I think he's super fun to watch. And this was, I think, this was definitely one of his more impressive starts, just from like a finding the zone perspective. But I think that he, from like the sense of like, let me just quickly confirm. Yeah, 101 pitches, 69 strikes. So he gave you distance, he gave you strikeouts, and there are a lot of pitchers that are, everyone kind of acknowledges that pitchers have like an extra pitch that they throw like 5% of the time, or like whatever. Like everyone has that, whatever it is,
Yeah.
that they kind of bring out, maybe 3 or 4 times a game. Um, Simeon Woods Richardson is a 100% pure 3-pitch pitcher, right? It's not like it's not like he throws 3 pitches in double digits, but then like, one of those is 50%, one of those is like 30%, and then one of them is like, 11% or whatever. Like it's real. Like if you look at the splits here, right? 40.5% on the four seamer, 31.1% on the slider, 20.7% on the changeup. So the mix is really there. And I think that you're seeing that. I think if I can remember correctly, he got strikeouts with, I think, all 3 of those at least once. I'd need to go and look at that, but it was one of his more kind of just complete starts of the season, I thought.
Let me look for you here. He had a strikeout on the changeup. He had another strikeout on the changeup. He had a strikeout on the fastball. Wait, he had 2 strikeouts on the fastball, 2 strikeouts on the changeup, 3 strikeouts on the fastball there. Another strikeout on the slider, and another strikeout a strikeout on the slider, and another strikeout on a curveball. So he actually had 4 different pitches where he had a strikeout.
Okay, but yeah, the curve ball is kind of his more benign pitch. He only throws at 7.7. So even more than what I was saying. So all 4 pitches, at least 1 strikeout. That's really that shows some real versatility and some real, like, he has confidence in his whole repertoire, because some pitchers get a little cute sometimes with certain pitches that they throw, and they kind of just throw it just so the guy sees it, just to think about it, and then they don't really go back to it. So that's really good to see. So no, this was absolutely one of his more complete starts.
Absolutely, yeah, no, 100%. But I'm very it was absolutely like that. And it was really good for him too. Also in the first inning, he faced a huge thing. He had bases loaded with 2 outs facing Jackson Merrill, who'd been kind of killing us all game, been killing us all series, and he was able to get him to fly to ground out. So and end the inning there. So shout out to Simeon Woods-Richardson for like getting out of that inning, and then after that, he was pretty much dominant the whole way through. He only allowed 2 more singles, and then he allowed the one solo home run to Donovan Solano, which was just a fastball right down the middle that Solano just saw coming. So, shout out to him there. But yeah, so that's that.
Yeah. Bullpen.
That was our Padres series.
Yeah, bullpen came through for him, not for Ober. Otherwise, I agree with you. I think we win the series.
Yeah, we win the series there also, but again, that's only because we had our well, also we didn't need our bullpen in the third game. We had like 11-1 lead. It was basically like what position player was going to pitch for the Padres.
No, that is fair.
So our bullpen, we were able to give like Sands and Thielbar still pitched, but we were able to give our other high leverage guys like Alcala and Duran got 3 days off.
Right.
Alcala and Duran got 3 days off. Jack's only pitched in one of the outings. I think he pitched Tuesday, so he only pitched Tuesdays. And he's going to have 2 days off. And now we have a day off today, so that means Alcala and Duran are going to have 4 days off, and Jax is going to have 2 days off, and Sands will also have an extra day off as well. So, a day off as well. So,
right.
Our bullpen should be good to go for at least for the next week or so. So,
the Bailey Ober's, this is really interesting. Bailey Ober's quality start streak currently sits at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's on an 11-game quality start streak, and the Twins are 9-2. So, like, there is a real correlation between him pitching and like the Twins winning the game. Like it's not.
Yeah, and his last rough outing came on when he was having that really bad stretch where he faced the Royals, Yankees, Pittsburgh, and had like 3 bad games in a row. And since then, he's figured something out. Something must have been wrong during those like 5-game stretch where I don't know if you see it. He gave up 5 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 6 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs. And since then has given up 1 earned run, 2 earned runs, 1 earned run, 1 earned run, 3 earned run, 2 earned run, 0 earned run, 2 earned run, 0 earned run, 2 earned run, 3 earned run. Like, he figured something out. And I don't know what it was, but I'm happy he did. We all are very happy that he figured it out.
Yeah. No, shout out, but shout out to him for being just a really big kind of both, and it's at the same time he's been really exciting, and it's been so fun to watch him develop and emerge, and at the same time he's been incredibly stabilizing and assuring. So shout out to him.
Absolutely.
Zach, let's go through the Cardinals series.
Yes, let's get going.
Let's open up. You would mention the real highlight of this is the Pablo Lopez Sonny Gray matchup.
I think man,
what I'm more.
You know how many Twins fans are going to be like going crazy in Twins Twitter throughout this whole game? Like, you know how disastrous it would be if like Pablo Lopez has a bad start and Sonny Gray has like a really good start. You know how bad that would be for like Twins Twitter. It would be disastrous.
So we open up Festa versus Palante.
Do you know anything about Palante? Because I'm gonna be straight up, I don't know anything about Palante. I've never heard of
not really. No, aside from the fact that he's young, essentially.
Let's look up Palante on Savant page because I don't know anything about him.
Our favorite
Palante. Yikes.
Okay, so there's
He
some. So yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he's a strike guy. Does not get hit hard. Well, no, he. So he. No, sorry. Am I reading this correctly?
he
Yes.
is
No.
bad
Sorry.
at he's bad at strike. He doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. He
But
doesn't get a lot. He gets like he does walking on people. He does walking on people.
he gets hit a lot. But when he does get hit, it's not very hard.
Yes, that's factual.
So, which is, I think, fine for the Twins. Like, again, like, maybe, you sprinkle in the medium ball thread there. And then, yeah, maybe it's
And
like the
he's
Walgreens.
and he throws. My lord, look at that percentage on the fastball. Do you see that percentage on the fastball?
Yeah. God.
48% fastball, 28%, 20% sinker, 16% slider, 12% curveball. He is a fastball pitcher. And
Yeah.
if you look at like the run values and stuff, his sinker and his four seam fastball has negative 6.4 vertical movement. What does that even mean? What does negative 6.4 mean?
I don't even.
What does that even mean?
Oh my God. This is, yeah. So this is, I think we have ourselves a little bit of like
I have no idea what this guy is. This is crazy.
yeah, but it would seem, yeah, no.
His four seam run value is high. Like he gets four run value on that, but all the other ones are really bad in terms of run
Right.
value. So
So,
he's basically Joe Ryan, except he hasn't actually fixed any of his secondary pitches.
right.
Um,
No, I mean, this is, just, I mean, looking at the savant, this kind of seems like Sonny Gray. So I think Sonny Gray's gonna have a really good game against the Twins. I see, so I am already pretty comfortably gonna mark this up as a win tonight. Just based off of what I'm seeing here, this might be, this might be a 3-inning start for Palante. But
yeah, no, I don't know what this is gonna be, but this is gonna be. I feel like we're gonna win tonight. We have to win the Pablo Lopez Sonny Gray start. We have
right,
to. Like that, you cannot lose that game. And then you probably take a loss on the third game. I'm guessing. As much as I want to think Zebby can get a win, I am having a hard time believing it at this point.
yeah,
I need Zebby to have a good outing. I want him to really go off. I'd love to see a sweep this series, but
yeah,
I would need Zebby to I want to see something from Zebby this game that is a bounce back game.
yeah. The Cardinals offense, and we talked. They are
not good.
It's fine. Like that's the problem. Like it's fine. Like it's not. I don't know. Like if you look at like I mean realistically, I'm trying to see here. Like I want Burleson I think has been the big sort of
Star for them.
yeah, he's really that
Mason Wynn's been pretty solid for them as
Mason
well.
Wynn's been good. Burleson was someone that a lot of really smart people kind of called as taking a big step this year, and it's been proven correct to this point. Obviously, Goldschmidt has just totally not collapse might be a bit strong, but he's underperformed to a noticeable extent.
Yeah, it's not been good for him. He's a guy that used to a 30. He was a for sure 30 plus home run guy with a 300 batting average. He has 19 home runs so far this season with 228 batting average. It just not been very good for him. He's been kind of collapsing. Really, it's it's Nolan Arenado, Mason Wynn, Burleson. Those three guys.
Right.
And even Arenado's been okay for them. He's been iffy for them, honestly. But his defense is insane. He's one of the best defenders in baseball.
Donovan has been his usual sort of solid, stable self. He's been, I think, a really good, just kind of, like a stability piece in that regard.
And besides that, no one else.
Right. Yeah. Miles Mikolas has been just, frankly, bad.
Yeah,
I
Miles
mean,
Mikolas is bad. Kyle Gibson's been about doing what you expect him to do in terms of 4.23 ERA.
the,
I don't know if he's playing though. But we're only looking at three guys, and we're looking at Eric Fetty, who has been their best pitcher, I probably will say.
I think I would agree.
Barry Gray has been the best pitcher. Sonny Gray, he's been struggling recently though. Like Sonny Gray has been bad recently. If you look, he started off the season really hot, and then since then, he's allowed more than 2 earned runs in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's allowed 2 or more earned runs in his last 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
Including a really bad 6 earned run game against the Reds, not that long ago. So Sonny Gray's been very struggling recently. Fetty's been the best pitcher, and Payante, we know nothing about personally.
No.
But if you look at his game log, I guess.
Yeah.
If you look at his game log, I'm looking at his game log just to see. He had a really good outing versus the Dodgers. He had a really good outing versus KC. But he allowed 4 walks versus KC. So I don't know if that's a great outing in general. But he has been struggling. Like he had 5 earned runs versus the Mets, 3 earned runs versus Texas.
Yeah. If you look at
he's not gone. I will say though this. Since mid-June.
Since he's become a starter.
He's not gone less than 5 innings, basically. Except he's only gone less than 5 innings once.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So I'd assume we'll probably get 5 innings out of him, but we might get 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs, which would mean David Best tonight has to be very good. And I'm assuming we'll probably be using some high leverage bullpen tonight.
Yeah. The Diamondbacks are another one of those medium ball teams that we've talked about, but he has played them really as a reliever more so. But if you look at the Giants, who I think if you look at the underlying numbers, have a very similar offensive profile to what the Twins are doing. 5.18, 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 1 home run. And just 5
and 3 walks.
And 3 walks. So
I think the Twins could really take advantage of this guy tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna be as bad as Waldron, but I think we could at least get
this is not. Waldron is built in a lab to be destroyed by the Twins.
That's gonna be clipped. I'm clipping that, by the way. I'm clipping the fact that was said.
That was awesome. No, Matt Waldron was made in a lab to be destroyed by the Twins. Palante, maybe not to a similar of an extent, but the underlying numbers indicate that a team like the Twins or the Red Sox or the Giants or the Diamondbacks should be effective against him as in a starting role. Mm-hmm. So I feel comfortable chalking that up as a win.
I agree.
I will probably chalk up the Fetty Matthews start as a loss.
I will also be doing that. And then it comes down to the most important game of the season for the Twins fans. For Twins fans. Not for Twins, but for Twins fans, it's the most important game of the season. Sonny Gray versus Pablo Lopez, which, given Sonny's recent history and the fact that Pablo has seemed to be figuring it out recently. Let me look at Pablo again. Let me look up his game. I want to make sure I'm not saying something stupid here. But recently it seems like he's figured something out in terms of his production. So I'm gonna lean Pablo here. So I'm gonna give the win.
I think
I'm gonna give the win to Pablo. I'm gonna say we win 2 of 3, going win-win-loss.
That's exactly what I'm.
But I can also see Zebby Matthews having a breakout type game against this offense,
right?
And doing something like that, and getting us a sweep. But I'm gonna say 2 of 3.
No,
but you have to win the Pablo Lopez Sonny Gray start.
Yeah, that we
have
to. You've swayed me on that, I think. God, yeah, no, we'll see. No, the Cardinals it's weird. Like it's very, like it's top heavy, but then the big names aren't performing. But then it's like I don't know.
And I think the important thing to remember here is the Twins have a fully healthy and fully rested bullpen,
Yeah,
which is incredibly key right now.
yeah,
So that's the key for me.
that's true.
Okay, that's that. We say two. We both say 2 out of 3.
Yep,
Um,
win loss.
win loss, and we believe that tonight should be an easy win for the Twins.
Should be yeah. Tonight should not like what yeah again not Waldron, but like it should be clear halfway through the game.
Yes, I agree. It should be like we should be able to possibly pull lower leverage guys. We might use high leverage guys tonight, but we should be able to like kind of let Festa go a little bit. Maybe get 6 innings in tonight.
Yeah,
Should be. Okay, that's that.
that is
The Twins have a really important series here against the Cardinals. It would be nice to get some wins here, while the Guardians maybe drop a couple more, or the Royals lose some here to the Phillies. It would be nice maybe to get some ground made up this series. But we will be back here on Monday to cover the series and break down whatever our next series is that I haven't actually looked at because I'm taking it one game at a time.
one game at a time.
Taking it one game at a time. But shout out Festa. Go watch Festa tonight on Apple TV Plus.
Prime
time live TV game. We're very excited.
Oh man, this has been the Bleav in Twins podcast on the Bleav Network. I've been your host, Anders Pryor, along with Zac Tipton. You can stream our podcast on the Bleav.com website or listen to it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever else you consume your media. You can also, and if you're looking at us now, you already are, but you can go watch us on YouTube, on the Bleav in Twins YouTube channel. Subscribe, turn on post notifications. Thank you for making us a part of your sports media consumption week. Go Twins, go David Festa. We will see you guys on Monday.
See you guys on Monday.